Welcome to another interview series. Dina, I'm super excited today because we have Jessica Lucas from Hampton Roads. Jessica, thank you for being with us today. And I'm going to kick it right to you, Jessica. So, open up, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Jessica. I serve as Hampton Roads, Virginia. My husband's an active duty military spouse. I've been in the industry over a decade, and I work a lot of agent-to-agent referrals and military clients. I have three kids. They keep me very busy, and that's me in a nutshell.
Well, I love the fact that you said that you're tied to the military. So, the next question I always ask is tell us how you're tied to the military. So, it's tied through your husband. So, how long have you been keeping him sane in service?
So he's at, oh, I should know this. He's at 21 years. He's at 21, but I've only been in the picture since like 18 years.
Oh,
So,
only 18 years doing the hardest job there is that I always tell Dina, which is the military spouse. I did 21 years, 10 months. I say 22 because it's easier to round up.
Yeah. Yeah. And the funny thing is, Matt, you said keeping him sane. I don't know him personally, but I would assume that with all of that, you probably can't be very sane. So, Jessica, let's kind of get into this. What made you fall in love with real estate? You could have done anything else. You could have stayed home and done nothing, but what made you fall in love with real estate?
so picture this. We were PCSing to another state, and we were young buying our first house and using a VA loan. And it was then I realized that the person helping us had no idea how to use a VA loan. And we left so much money on the table. It was, if it could go wrong, it went wrong. And I was like, man, there's got to be another solution for these veterans and these active duty military members that could be real, like we could take care of them. And it kind of opened my eyes. And I was like, not yet, not yet. You're pregnant, you're having your first baby, you're very young. And then we sold the house and yet again had somebody that didn't know what he was doing. And I was like, okay, I think this is my sign. I'm just going to dabble. I'm just going to dabble and see if I like it. Fast forward, there was no dabbling. I've been head first ever since day one. I started the industry with a newborn on my hip, a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. And I had a 2-year-old or a newborn that never stopped crying. So I couldn't put him in childcare. So I would make a joke with my clients and be like, if you don't like kids, I'm probably not the agent for you, because I was trying to make the best of both worlds, right? I have to be a spouse, but I also wanted to have my own career and I had to take care of kids. And so I would show up and like I remember paying 17-year-old kids to drive around with me so I could leave my kids in the car legally. And because I didn't trust anyone to watch like my littlest. So that's how I started in the business, is a weird transaction that pushed me, and here we are.
Well, I was going to jump in and say this. So, like, getting licensed in real estate, you can work with any client you absolutely wanted to. Now, you had that experience on the spouse side, the veteran side that didn't go well. So, what was it that literally said, okay, I'm going to get into real estate and I'm going to focus all my efforts on giving back to the military community and making the military niche the client that I prefer to do business with and I choose to do business with?
I would say I want to make sure they're protected and taken care of. Do you know how many members could have purchased their first home at every duty station? And if their goal was to be an investor, you could, like, I would have situations where I could talk to them and say, do you have any money to bring to the table? No? All right, let's go find those perfect houses where you don't have to bring a dollar to the table and I can get you into a property with that BAH, right? And so that's kind of how I started. And then I always like to tell my husband I girl boss too hard and I'm trying to retire, but he's not down with it. So I'm trying, okay. And so fast forward, that's when I learned that the military was really where I belonged, was helping people get out of service. I mean, you're helping them through the most difficult time of their lives. I always tell them, you have enough on your plate for PCSing. Trust me, I've been there. Let me, I'm not going to say I'm going to make it enjoyable because I'd be lying to you, but let me help take some of the stress off of you. Don't panic about, once you pick out who you want to do your inspections, I'll schedule them all. I got you. Let me do a little bit of this to take it off your plate. And then it became a situation where they would call me and be like, I don't know anyone in the area and I know I've never met you yet, but I need an emergency contact for my 2-year-old's childcare. Like, can I put your name down? I'm like, sure. Are they going to actually call me? If so, you might want to send me a picture of your child. So it became like a family. It became someone, I became a friend, is what I really will say. I always tell them it's not about the money. It's about genuinely helping the people in our world.
So you are a godmother of 500 children across the Hampton Roads
I
area.
hope not. I hope not.
You know what is I'm thinking about? You remember that trend on TikTok that was like, and this is my emergency contact, and it was like the dad doing some crazy shit. I really want to recreate that with you in those sweatpants you were wearing a couple weeks ago, and you were like, I'm gonna go pick my kid up in this sweat outfit, and you had your hair all crazy, no makeup on. Like that's what I want to come across is like this is that child's emergency contact. It's you with your hair up, kicking it in some sweatpants midday, just trying to embarrass your own children. I think that's the best thing ever.
Honestly, the amount of messages I got from that post, they were like, how mad was your daughter? I'm like, well, she didn't have to walk home, so there's that.
Yeah, well, and who cares? Whatever. So, like, the one thing, it's funny you said you girl bossed too hard. The one thing I know about you for sure is that is you, hustler through and through. You've also shared that you don't pay for leads, you don't go out of your way to like find people who don't want to find you. What is it that you've done that's allowed you to be trusted by so many people before they even meet you? If you're being not humble for a minute and bragging a little bit, what is it?
I just genuinely cared about them. I check in after them. I check in at them after closing. I like if I know there's a big event that they shared with me, I follow up. This isn't just glamorous all the time, right? Like let's call it what it is. There's also divorces in the military, and I went on a listing appointment and I know it was a divorce situation. And I checked in on them. Like it's a long-term play. Whether I'm the agent for you or not, I still genuinely care that you make it through this, right? And so I would say for me, it's just treating them like a human, treating them like they're not just another transaction and I'm ready to put them under contract and never talk to them again. Um, I, I do care about these people. I actually make this joke. I actually get really sad before closing because I don't have a reason to talk to you multiple times a week. Because, let's be real, in the transaction, we talk all the time. And I get really sad before closing and I'm like, man, don't be a stranger. Like, and there are times where I'll check in and be like, how's everything going? I actually care. And I will say that is a big difference. In real estate, you can tell the people that actually care about you and the ones that don't. And I won't say anything else because I don't want to get myself in trouble. But
Well, here's the
like,
thing though.
this is good.
I love that you're saying that because I don't know. Me and Dina talk about this all the time, right? And I don't know who it was that brought it up, but one of the things that our agents miss when it comes to the military niche is there's the housing component and there's the human component. And you're getting them to the outcome of the housing component, but you spend so much time in the relationship and the human component that you literally are a trusted source before they even purchase a home. And that's why people are reaching out to you. So the human component to you is super, super, super imperative in the relationship.
Well, and I also want to make mention, just in case somebody's watching this that doesn't already know you, you're not selling a couple houses a year. So I want to ask, like, is it actually that easy, and why is it that different?
I
Why
thought you
is
were
it?
about to ask me my numbers, and I was
No,
like,
no,
girl, I don't track
no,
my
I
numbers.
know you don't.
We're not asking nobody that
Okay.
question.
Okay, good.
No, but I mean,
Perfect. Good.
it's funny that like you're selling a shit ton of real estate, right? And every year you're at every event, you're networking with all the real estate agents, you're doing the thing. But I wonder, like, why, from your perspective, why does it feel so different to a consumer to actually be cared about that they come to you in droves because of the fact that that's different?
It's really funny because I've recently had a lot of people reach out to me and they're like, "Hey, asked a question on the spouse page, and your name was highly recommended a lot." And the cool part is if they're friends with me, I get notified that they do that. And the people that are doing that are past clients of mine. And I'm really bad about asking for reviews. Terrible, by the way. If you look, do not, I know I'm terrible. However, that speaks volumes for me. If you're gonna go out of your way to vouch for me on a social media platform, I can't say how much that means to me. Like I recognize every single one of them. I try to comment, thank you. Like I don't, I I will say it's not about the production for me. It's about, do I align with that person and can I help them? Right. And I'm not afraid to say no to a client if I don't feel that our alignments are in the same room. And I also say, I respect your time, please respect mine. And it's very clear when I talk to someone, I'm like, okay, I love you. Let's knock this out. Right. I think I just have a high standard of who I want to work with. And I've already identified that very quickly. And I think that I've taken care of so many people at a high level that they kind of do the research for me. They kind of go find the clients, they network for me. They're not afraid to stand up in a room. And I got a really quick story to tell you, and I'll make it really fast. You already know I talk fast, but I'll never forget there was, I got into the Navy community, and it's a very small community. And I'll never forget, this client calls me and he's like, "Hey, I got your number." I had a client message me and he's like, "Hey, I gave your number to someone on the ship." And I was like, "Awesome. Thanks so much. I really appreciate you." And then he goes, so he's like, "But just a heads up, we were fighting over whose realtor was better. And I didn't know that you helped Bob. We were fighting over whose realtor was better. It ended up being the same realtor." And I was like, "Oh, awesome. Thanks." So I honestly, this is so bad, but I don't lead gen anymore because I've created that community for my people. Like, I know one of my clients loves energy drinks, and I had dropped a case off to her because she just had a baby and I knew she was going to need them. So it's just going above and beyond. And I sold them the house years ago. It's just caring about them. And I think that when they see that you do, in return, they'll go find you business, to be honest with you.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, I love the fact that, for you, it's so relational based, right? And you've created this rove of, or whatever you want to say, of raving fans that are just out there like speaking your name because you cared so deeply for them that they now in return care so deeply for you. They're just out there finding people for you.
I love we're having realtor wars in the middle of a real war on a Navy ship. It's
Yeah,
like, are there bombs coming? I don't know, but my realtor's better than yours.
that's
Like,
that's it. And it's the same realtor.
I know, that's so funny. That's so
And
funny.
it means so much to me, though. Like, I think that I don't want that to get lost in translation for anyone that's looking at this that isn't a realtor. Like, that speaks volumes to me. That means so much to me that not only did you allow me to help you with the biggest purchase of most people's lives, but now you're willing to stand up in a room and give my name out to other people. Like, nothing means more to me. Like, I can't even say, like, that's the highest level of kudos I can get from you. Thank
Well,
you.
me and Dina have done dozens and dozens upon dozens of realtor interviews, and I'm going to tell you, this is the first time that you can actually feel the servant heart just pouring off the screen. I mean, would you not agree, Dina?
I don't want to agree because then I don't want one of those other people to see this, that they've already gone before her because their interviews are out. Thanks, Matt, for
I,
that.
you know,
That's Matt's opinion, and I will keep it to myself.
I said I'm good with it. So if you can, here's one of the questions, right? So you've been doing this for a while now. If you could go back, right? What is one of the most important things you would tell that brand new soldier, sailor, airman, marine, coastie, spacey, whatever they are nowadays about real estate? What's the one piece of advice you would give them?
Man, I think it would be if you have the urge to be an investor. So a lot of times when you talk to the newbies, they want to pick up a house in most of all of their bases that they go to. And that's great. But some of them are like, they buy their first house in their 30s or their 40s. And I was like, well, you've been in the military since you were 18. And so I just love, like, I think the youngest I've helped was 20. Um, how incredible is that to buy your first house at 20 and keep it for the long term? And when he gets out of the military, he's now going to have like 6 to 7 houses under his belt, plus a retirement package. Like, how incredible is that? And so I think talking about financial freedom and wealth building as far as like owning properties when you PCS and using the VA loan to do so.
I love that. All right, Jessica, you got one piece of advice before we go.
Y'all could have given me heads up for these
Oh
questions.
no, it's
We don't like that. We want it to be off the cuff and not scripted.
that's it. So one piece of
Um,
advice you give everybody out there listening.
I actually am going, so most people are going to hate this, but I'm going to give it to you. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. You can fight. Buying this house shouldn't be a fight for you. And if you don't align who you're working with, that's not your person. And I wish more people heard that because there is a lot of people out there that will take care of you. And I think that the reason why I got into this business was to take care of military. And it wasn't because of my poor experience. It was just, I realized there were so many out there not taken care of. So if it doesn't feel right, do your thing, do what you got to do. And interview multiple agents, like that simple. Don't just interview one.
So if they want to interview you, where are we sending them?
to my website.
What is your website?
Oh, jessicalucas.kw.com.
Oh, that's easy. All right, Matt. Wrap us
Well,
up, hype
hey,
man.
well,
Give
here's
us
the
a
deal,
word.
man. Hampton Roads, the military, and the Navy community is blessed to have you in that area. Hey, if you're moving to that area and you're looking for somebody, there they are, there, right there. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, Jessica.
Thank you for having me.